bodies like the Human Rights Commission and the ICAC in New South Wales, and a federal one if the government was stupid and foolhardy enough to go down that line, is that they're political assassination machines. And the reason, and I could go on and on because I have interested myself in many other cases besides mine. More and more will come out about those because more and more victims are seeking their remedies through the courts, which generally speaking I must concede are reluctant to let them have their remedies, but there will be ways through it. But the problem with those bodies is that they choose their own victims. They choose their own targets. Now the police don't choose their own targets. A police officer has to respond to a complaint from a victim or a witness, or be given an investigation with terms of reference by a superior. But ICAC doesn't do that, and I promise you that we had a situation in New South Wales, it may have improved now, where for the regime of 2 ICAC commissioners, they picked the people that they wanted to go after, perhaps with, and this is wrong. We can't have people deciding who to go after. Apparently only 2% of complaints to ICAC are investigated, and they're deciding about them. Sometimes there's no complaint to ICAC. And so do we want that in the federal sphere? Well, isn't it interesting how the left want a national ICAC? And the reason for that is that they'll be able to pick off any of their political enemies. It's not confined to the left. I'm sure that in the fullness of time you'll hear about what happened in New South Wales, even under a fairly recent Liberal politician, Premier, who recognised ICAC for what it is, a political assassination machine. But we're in, a lot of people are in deep trouble if there is a national ICAC, because if I can just suggest, for example, in my case, the case of a young woman who was my son's girlfriend. She's never been in the public service, nor has her boyfriend. So it could be your daughter, it could be anyone with the most tenuous connection to a public official, even a minor public official, can find themselves drawn into this terrible situation, which is thousands of times worse than being arrested by the police and charged with something, because at least then you get before proper courts who are completely, and in the middle of, between the court and the police, you have an independent prosecution body which has nothing to do with the investigation, deciding whether something should proceed. But not with ICAC, which really is the policeman, investigator, and because the punishment is the premature damning of you in the Socialist Moaning Herald, they're also the executioner. So and then you're gone. And so if we want that in the federal sphere as well, people who want it don't even realise how it could very well touch them if they happen to be on the wrong side of something, or if someone in their family is.
Any other members of the panel? Could I add to that? It's also extraordinarily inefficient. Even if ICAC is onto something genuine, for example, they might decide to investigate the cost of political lobbying in New South Wales and the advantages that come from that, and I'm not suggesting anything like that does happen in New South Wales, but let's say that we're being investigated by ICAC. It's so inefficient because, and costly, they deliver a report, they come to a conclusion, the evidence they collect can't be used, whereas if you did it through the grand jury, it'll all be taken as secret, they take evidence, they then decide yes or no as to whether there should be an indictment. And it would then go just straight to a proper trial before a judge and jury, and only until then would people know what was going on, so you wouldn't be made guilty before the actual case started. And that's not an American invention, It came from old England. We had it very briefly in some states and they got rid of it. They got rid of it in England, but it's written into the Constitution of the United States in relation to federal criminal matters.
Yes, the question has to be, with the federal ICAC, what rights do you wish to surrender in order to have it? Because you lose your right to silence, you lose your privilege against self-incrimination, and it's so. Do people want that? Do the left really want that? It seems they do, because they're great authoritarians, aren't they?